All right, good morning, everyone. So today is September 19th, 2024. It is Thursday. And so what I'm watching now is GU, and we have 1 minute before high impact news comes out. So basically, right now we have bullish SMT on these daily lows with euro dollar. And I have a H4 buy side of balance, sell side efficiency. That price is working within. We're trending higher. So internal range liquidity to external range liquidity. Very simple, easy to read price action here. And news just came out. So I'm looking for a 15-minute market structure shift. So we would need to get above this high right here. Okay, so I need to see a displacement higher and then price to come back and treat this up close candle right here as a bullish breaker. Okay. Excuse me. So just a quick look at EU here now. So EU dropped down lower into that H4 BISI into a H4 bearish order block. So same price action, just that only variance is what 4-hour key level we're basing our trade off. And so for EU, we're basing off of a 4-hour order block. And for pound dollar, we're basing it off of a 4-hour buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, or a BISI. And so the reason why I'm favoring pound here over EU is because when we look at the euro pound chart, pound is stronger. So I'll pull that up here quickly because it doesn't look like we're going to get a crazy displacement quite yet. So we got our Forex crosses and euro pound right here. I'll pull that up here quickly. Okay, so let's go out to the daily. We can see there even the 15-minute is showing that 15-minute displacement. And essentially what we're targeting. So this is the daily time frame, but this daily low right here is the draw on liquidity for euro pound. And so since pound is the asset here, the second asset, it means as this entire forex pair goes down, that means pound is the stronger asset. So here we have an internal range liquidity to external range liquidity play. We've already taken out this low here, and I believe we've taken this low out as well. So this low is 0.8393, and this low is 0.8391. Okay, so we've taken out this low as well. And now this low here is the next low that we're targeting. So daily internal liquidity to external liquidity. We can see here we got a little bit of a mohawk outside of this daily sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Okay, so this is a daily SIBI. And from a daily key level, I can see 1 hour price action or 1 hour market structure shift away from that key level. We got that here. Price came back, didn't quite get back into 50% and continued to go lower. And same thing here. Didn't come up quite as high as I kind of would like it to. It did take out minor buy side liquidity here and then went lower. We have this 1 hour imbalance here or sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. And I'd like to see price continue to move lower from this 1 hour key level. that I'll just plot out here real quickly. So H1 SIBI. And I do want to check the 4 hour as well. We got 2 1 hour levels like that. I'd like to see how the 4 hour is panning out, because we may have a 4 hour. Yeah, okay, so like right here. So the reason why we got this reaction here from this level is this is a H4 bearish order block, this big green up close candle. And then there's also this breaker right here as well, this bearish breaker. And so we had a 1 hour reaction away from it here. And so again, from the 1 hour to the 5 minute, 1 hour key level, which is this H1 SIBI, I'd like to see a 5 minute market structure shift or displacement below this low right here, this short term low that created the short term high. So now I'll go back to pound dollar. And we can see here we just moved higher into the top of this 4 hour BISI. And so I'd like to see it continue higher, but it looks like we're rejecting this level here. We may just want to go lower. Price has been trending up higher for quite some time now. If we go out to the weekly, go ahead and hide the market panel. We can see here this this weekly imbalance, or this weekly tag is what we're using. So weekly to 4 hour to 15 minute, that's our time frame alignment. I'll plot that out here. So this is like the same thing I've been going over with some of my previous trades. Same structure in the market, same key levels. All this stuff has already been drawn out before. I've talked about it before. It's just another long opportunity that could pan out here today. If we don't, we also have this weekly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency down here, which is a discount array. Like when we think about this swing from swing low down here to swing high, we get our fib out to measure 50% or equilibrium. And we can see equilibrium will be below this low. So if price wanted to start to break down here, like I would need to see a lot of breakdown, honestly. Like it would, because these are monthly levels, monthly key levels up here. So this is monthly external range liquidity. So I like to see like a daily market structure shift, and then we could target this low here. But if I don't get that, then I'm bullish. I'm not going to be in a position to try to pick tops and bottoms in the market. I'm just going to continue with higher time frame order flow. So back to the 15-minute. And this is actually a 15-minute buy side balance, sell side efficiency. I think I said a 4 hour. Wait, is it? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's 4 hour. I want to confuse myself or confuse whoever's watching the video. And full transparency, I've had a really bad trading week, and last week ended pretty miserably as well. I'll upload some of the videos to show how my balance got down this low. So in these accounts, they're down to minus 4%, which is not a whole lot. I had to lose 10% in order to lose a challenge. I've been on tilt. That's essentially what's been going on. Kind of just been continuing to get back into the market when I've already lost 2 times in a day. And I don't want to keep this tailspin going, so I'm still going to keep risking a quarter of a percent. Just climb my way out of drawdown. Um, what I may end up doing now that I'm at 4%, 4% drawdown, I'll probably work my way into risking a little more, but I got to get some base hit wins first. So what I mean by that is, essentially, I want to work my way up to risking about 0.5%. You know, so if I get up to, let's say, 1%, then I'll risk 0.5%. Okay, um, so if I get up into 3% drawdown, I'll give myself space to risk 0.5% on the next trade. But in order to get there, I got to get 1 to 2 risk to reward trades that come out to be winners, which I'm looking forward to getting at least one of those today. But if I don't, then it's no biggie. And I'll move this out of the way until I get ready to enter. And we can see here this 15-minute buy side imbalance. I mean, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency is acting as a resistance. So not quite what I wanted to see, but you see here, get a nice displacement on the 1 minute below this low. And, the usual play would be to treat that as a fair value gap and then look to go lower. Touch the bottom end of this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, but I'm not looking to go short. Not looking to pick tops and bottoms. Higher time frame order flow has been bullish, so I will continue to be bullish. One other thing I wanted to note as well on this chart, I'll go out to the monthly, is we have tagged a monthly key level. We hit that level yesterday with the FOMC rate announcement. And that key level is this monthly bearish order block. Right there. So again, with hitting a higher time frame key level for time frame alignment purposes or for the purpose of gauging whether or not price is actually going to reject this level and then continue to reject it further, I'd have to see a daily sell side. A daily market structure shift. And if we go out to the daily or drop down to the daily, the short term low on the daily is down here. So I'd need to see price get below that or displace below this low. So that's the low of September 17th. Displace below that, leave a inefficiency, and then continue to the downside. It still will be a counter trend play because the market still is relatively bullish. It's been heavy on the bullish thing, but if we get as far as weekly profiles go, if we get a Thursday reversal, it wouldn't be surprising. We've been up since there's the September 11th, been going higher. So with only 3 days, we've had down close candles, not including today, of course. So let's go back to the 15-minute. I want to see how price action behaved within the 1 minute fair value gap. Okay, so we disrespected it, which is good for bullishness. So this here, we've closed outside. So we may have order flow switching now to bullish. So high impact news event release at 10. Price went up a little bit, touched the top of this 4-hour imbalance, and started to manipulate lower. Okay. So this is, I mean, we've been selling off all morning essentially. After 7 o'clock. So we had a high impact news event at 7 o'clock as well. The price shot up higher. Okay. Let's go all the way back out. So New York midnight open is here. Put a vertical line on that as well, so we can see that New York midnight opening price. Right here. I like to make that line purple. Not that kind of purple. Light purple. Okay. So that's the New York midnight opening price. Came down a little bit, and then we've been going up higher up until 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock came around. We had a big news event. Bam, shot price up higher. And now price has been tumbling lower ever since. And okay, so now we're going back bearish. Going for these relative equal lows here. So typically, the reason why I plotted the New York midnight opening price on the chart is because in ICT trading, typically what we do is we look for the power of 3. Let's go ahead and type this out. New York. Sorry about that. I'll just put NY. Or I could just put 00. 0 o'clock. So there. But yeah, typically I like to be a buyer below the midnight opening price. Or at the very least, I like to see price, like if I'm gonna look to buy, I want to see during the day where price has manipulated lower below that price. And we did get that first thing in the morning. It was a small manipulation lower before it shot up higher. And then the news event release at 7 o'clock continued to push higher. And then we had a sell off ever since. Right. And so that sell off is what I'm looking to buy against now. So when we think about this as a market maker model, go to the 5-minute. So we had our news event right here, and then this consolidation inside of that candle. So you can count all of this here as your original consolidation. And then we have another one right in here. Okay. And then now we're looking to get a smart money reversal in here. And this really would be, I guess 3-minute would be a little more clear. Consolidation, original consolidation, consolidation, smart money reversal. Back to the 1-minute. So we can see here price is consolidating around this 1-minute imbalance that I have annotated with a green rectangle. But order flow does look to be transitioning bullish now on the 1-minute. But again, what I need, back up to the 15-minute, this high right here, preferably, I mean, at the very least, I'll draw this out. This 15-minute SIBI needs to become inverted. So I'll leave it green. Well, I'm gonna hit gray for now. But 15-minute SIBI. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that, or like write this out, that this is a 15-minute inverted fair value gap. So I like to see price get up above this high, close above it, and use it as an inversion to go higher. Now, as far as our short-term market structure shifts go, this is the most prominent low. This is the low that this is the most prominent short-term high. This is the short-term high that created this short-term low, or it's where price left this short-term high and moved down to this short-term low. Okay, so this short-term high is the one I really want to see price get above, then come back down into, and then continue our internal range liquidity to external range liquidity play. So this is our buy side liquidity. And as soon as I thought I said everything, there was one more thing I need to mention. If I didn't mention it already. Yeah, I did mention it. The SMT with EU. Now we also have bearish SMT across the top. Okay, so these SMTs are in conflict with one another. And essentially what I mean by that is there's SMT pointing to the downside for EU up here. So this high is lower than this high when I look at EU. And I like what price actually is doing now. So I'll go back to the 15. And I do want to look at the 3-minute as well. 3-minute is a good gauge here of what's going on. So I like this here, this sell sign imbalance. I like to see it flip. Bare minimum is 3-minute and then target. I want to compare these lows between GU and EU now. It's 3-minute lows. See if we got some SMT. And I'm looking at this through TradingView. I don't want to be doing too much back and forth on Trade Locker. Yeah, so we do have SMT on our lows. So I mean, this makes me want to shoot for a 3-minute market structure shift now. I'll plot it right here. $3M bullish, or I could just put positive SMT with EU. And this 15-minute, well, this gray rectangle is that 15-minute potential inverted fair value gap, bullish inverted fair value gap. So I'm looking for price to move above it and close above it, then come back down into it, use it as support, and price continue higher. It's the external range liquidity. So price is kind of just meandering around inside this current 15-minute sell side imbalance by sign efficiency. But again, I'm looking forward to invert, which we may get this repricing outside of it now. And there we go. Let's get a nice closure above it. And for a 3-minute market structure shift, I want to see this high here get ran. This short-term high, the 930 candle. See a displacement above it, a fair value gap, and then I'd go long. I don't need a 15-minute simply because we got this 3-minute SMT here, so I don't expect price to draw lower. Okay, so we got above this short-term high, which is nice. This short-term high, we got above it. It look like we're getting our displacement here now. I like to see a little more energy. It's kind of a lethargic displacement, but it can work. And we're coming up on 10:30, 3 minutes until 10:30. So coming up on about, well, the halfway point of our silver bullet. Take this off now. And let me see here. I'll throw a fib. Okay, so we can see 50% of our current range or equilibrium is right here at this monthly order block. So that's something to think about when maybe partialing out, which I probably won't do. I mean, I want to get a full pull. If I don't get a full pull, then I just won't keep it. I'm going to go for a 1 to 2 and just let it ride out. So at 10:30, we'll get a 15-minute candle to close. Be interested to see how it closes, whether it closes inside or outside that gray rectangle. I like to see it close outside of it, and that would effectively validate this as an inverted fair value gap. And you can see what price is already doing here. This is so it's coming back down and tapping the top of that 4-hour buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Let's see if it'll leave a gap right here. If it does, that most likely will act as a breakaway gap where price doesn't go back into it until sometime way later on. We'll see though. Okay, so 10:30 now. See, we have our gap. And again, I want to see this high here get taken out. An aggressive entry long would be here. Like this would be very aggressive, um, and which I'm contemplating doing. I don't want to miss this move. Let's get our measurements. So yeah, it would be an easy 1 or 2, but I'm gonna see how price behaves. So we didn't quite get our candle closure outside of that 15-minute sell side balance buy side efficiency that I'm looking to become inverted, and I really would like to see that first. Even though we may just get our run here, like that wouldn't surprise me at all if we just started to run. But at this point here, stop loss will be about 20-point stop below this low. So 20 to make 40. I like the way price is behaving inside of this fair value gap, though. I really do. See that? A nice reaction. It's because that fair value gap is nested within this 4-hour buy side of balance, sell side efficiency. I'll make this one green. 3-minute. Whoa. A fair value gap. And I believe I'll go ahead and enter. But it's, yeah. So I like the way this price action is behaving. 25-point stop from here, well, from the high of that candle. Let's see what price action does here. Let's see if we tap the top of that buy side and balance again, then move away from it. Yeah, it's getting very finicky. I'm gonna go ahead and enter long 25. So I need a 2.5. Well, a 0.25 in my case. See what it does here. Yeah, so I like that. I'm gonna buy it. On both my accounts. Put my stop loss in place. Take profit. Now, obviously, here I'm looking for us to continue to go up higher. Like this is the final draw. What I may end up doing is just taking a partial here at the 1 to 2 risk to reward area or above these highs, these relative equal highs, taking a partial. So I'll draw that out. Be looking to partial out. And really, it just depends on how price is moving away. Like if it's moving away very aggressively, then I'm gonna look to get my full pull at buy side liquidity. Potential partial, potential 80% partial, and I'll make this a dash line. Um, Make it thinner. There we go. Okay. Now let me set my take profit and stop loss on this account. So now it's just a waiting game. Just watching price. I did get in a little early. But yeah, I'm expecting this gray rectangle to support price. And so we have 3 minutes until the next 15-minute candle closes at 10:45. I like to see price close above that 15-minute gray rectangle. I like to see it get inverted. Yeah, that's not a good sign. Yeah, that's not a good sign. I may be looking to collapse my position here now. Yeah, I'll go ahead and close it. I don't like the way that's looking. That's interesting. So now we're getting a reaction to the top. We'll see how this closes though. And I may just re-enter. Yeah, I'll go ahead and re-enter. May have gotten scared out too soon. Yeah, I'll test it here. Just really want to see how we're gonna react to the top of that 15-minute sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. That gray rectangle. Is very indecisive. It's kind of ping ponging around in there now. That 3-minute candle closes outside. Yeah, see that's looking pretty good. I'll re-enter. Buy that. So if we get a closure below this low, I'll pull out again. Now we're at the 10. We're in the 1050 to 1110 macro. I like to see price start to get really animated to the upside now. Like if we're going to go higher, I like to see it start to spool higher now. Well, within this 20-minute window. There we go. Let's get a nice spool higher now. Yeah, that 15-minute candle though. This high right here, I need to see a closure above that. Above this short-term high at 11 o'clock. Because that's when the next 15-minute candle closes. And this is where the previous 15-minute candle, that's that candle's high. But the way this 3-minute fair value gap got respected, that gave me more of an inclination that price is going to continue to go higher. But again, to continue to confirm bullishness, I like to see the 15-minute time frame confirm things by closing above this high at 11 o'clock. So 11 o'clock and after, I want to see price action above this high. I mean, it could close below it and continue to go higher because we do have consequent encroachment of that wick, because that 15-minute candle created a wick. And I'll just go to it here. So this 15-minute candle, the previous one, it created a wick and consequent encroachment of that. If we get a closure above consequent encroachment, that would also be indicative of price continuing to go higher. So yeah, I like to see that. Still got 3 minutes until 11 o'clock. Like to see price get really animated above this high. Yeah, it'd be really nice if we leave a 15-minute displacement somewhere between. Let's go to the 15-minute. Between this high and this 15-minute inverted fair value gap. It'd be nice if we just leave a nice displacement somewhere in that range. If we leave a displacement above this high on the 15-minute basis, that's even better. I may even scale in. If it makes sense, of course. I only want to scale in below 50% of this current price range from high to low. So I'd only want to scale in discount of this range. So it'd have to be below equilibrium or below 50%. This 50% is right here. It's just about right at that monthly bearish order block that I have. Okay, so candle just closed 11 o'clock. We closed above consequent encroachment. We didn't get above this candle's high, which is fine. A closure above consequent encroachment, which I'm just eyeballing here. I don't want to have too many things on the chart. Consequent encroachment is about right here. We closed above there, so I'm still favoring higher prices. Let's drop back down to the 3-minute. So we have a 3-minute fair value gap here. You see market structure continue to shift higher. Have a 3-minute imbalance here that I really would like to see stay open. So here, and here. Like to see this air between these two black horizontal lines. I'd like to see it stay open, meaning I don't want to see price drop down below and get into this area. I mean, it can do it, but I don't want to see it. It is permissible, but it's not something I like to see. Inside center. Let's move this. It looks like it's going to get into it. Looks like we do have a small volume imbalance right here. And now prices looks like it's going to start spooling inside of this macro. So I like to see some real animation above these highs. So I think it's safe to say I could go ahead and annotate this here. This area, a 3-minute breakaway gap. Whoops. We'll just put a BA gap. BA stands for breakaway. And I don't like the way this is showing up. There we go. Okay, so the 1050 to 1110 macro is spooling now. I was going to draw it, but I'm not going to draw it. But this will be the time where the 15-minute candle creates a displacement, like what I want to see. So if there's any time for price action to start spooling higher, it'd be now. I mean, we're inside the macro. We're um, we're bullish, and I mean the order flow is bullish from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame. So if we want to go higher, we should continue to do it now. I don't really want to see it get fickle in here. I'd rather see it just make it smooth. Of course, as soon as I say that, it starts to get fickle. I'm not a fan of how dollar's price action is looking right now. I mean, dollar did take out a key level yesterday, so to expect it to continue lower, I guess, is a little bit of a pull, right? So yeah, the 1110 macro is over now. So price action is very um, it's like it's going in that direction, going higher, but it's taking its time trying to get there. I don't really like to be in, these high resistance liquidity runs because it just gives that feeling that it all could just fail at any time. All right, so I'm moving my stops here now. And the reason being is because I am expecting this 3 minute gap to stay open. And another reason, which is a more important reason, is because we're moving into this breaker and also this monthly bearish order block. So this breaker was created at the 7 o'clock news event release. Well, when the 7 o'clock came out, it was a bullish order block, but then when price came and ran away from that level, it became a bearish breaker. And so it'd be interesting to see how price behaves here in this area. If it gets really animated and price is above these candles, that'd be a good sign. I'd really like to see it get animated above this monthly bearish order block. But we'll just have to wait and see, because this could act as resistance to bring price lower. And I don't really want to sit through like price going. I don't want to sit in drawdown basically. So what I may end up doing is just moving my stop to break even. Um, we'll see though. But I don't expect for price to get back into this 15-minute inverted parallel gap. I also don't expect it to get back into this 3 minute breakaway gap. So yeah, but I like to see it start to spool higher here. I want to see it really go against this breaker if it's going to go higher. If not, then we'll get to see it act as resistance. And so we got 7 minutes until the next 15-minute candle closes at 11:30. And the 15-minute time frame, which I'll go to now, and I'll move this order panel out the way. Okay, so we did create a small 15-minute buy side and balance, sell side inefficiency, which is nice because that's what I was looking for. So if this breaker does resist price, then I don't want to see it reprice below this buy side and balance, sell side inefficiency. 15-minute time frame. I'll draw this out, label it 15-minute. That's a fair value gap. And I like to see this this run here. Let's go to the 3 minute. And now I'm going to mute myself because I'm about to eat. Sorry. All right, so I'm back. Just sitting here now waiting for price action to spool higher, just a little bit more. 1209 right now. I said here in this annotation that I wanted price to continue to spool higher, and I was given price until 1210, which it just hit. So it's 1210 now. Um, I wanted to give it to that time element, which is the macro, the ending of a macro, um, before I close my position at 80%. But we're literally right there at the cusp of these relative equal highs. It's a minor buy side liquidity. And so what we can see here is during the lunch macro, what tends to happen is the price engine algorithm or algorithms, they tend to go against the participants in the market who were making money after 9:30. And so we can see here in the morning, sellers were making money post 7 o'clock news release. So there was a nice sell off. Okay, so if anybody became a seller or positioned themselves as a seller after that news event release, they've been making money up until about 10 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock, we started to get our run against that move that occurred after 7 o'clock. And so I may go ahead and pull my partial here. We do have a small imbalance here. I'd like to see that get respected and then for price to spool higher up through this minor buy side and most likely this one as well. Um, if we close all this in, then I'll just take a partial and I won't sit through the rest of price action. But what I will do is I'll move this TP or this take profit up to this buy side liquidity area, which is the intraday high. And so I want to see price respect consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. I don't want to see it close below it. So this here is not what I really want to see. Looks like price is going to start to go against this move here that has been made after about 10:30. But we'll see if we get a quick little spool higher. I said 1210, but I mean it is based on order flow and how price action is moving. During the macro, what price action tends to do is it basically the price engine algorithm gives a short list of instructions, and we get to see price fulfill an objective, either to take out uh, minor buy or sell side liquidity, or to fill in an imbalance. And so, since right here we have a very minor level of buy side liquidity, I'm looking for that macro to go ahead and unseat the sellers who've been sitting in and they have their stop losses right here above this level. And, I get to take my 80% partial there on my accounts. Let's check out dollar. Okay, so dollar's starting to run against the sell off that it had, starting to reprice higher now. So we get to see pound do the inverse of that. But we'll see if we get one more run here. And I may just, if it gets really animated, I may just take the full pool. So just go ahead and get my full TP instead of partialing out. We'll see though. And I do want to go ahead and move my stop loss in the event that something unforeseen happens. Definitely want to be break even. All right, so it looks like it's going to go ahead and reject this fair value gap. I'll go ahead and partial out, then move my TP up if it decides it wants to do that. If we get a closure, yeah, so looks like it's going to just start running lower now. Yeah, I'll go ahead and partial out. I'll maybe hit this order block, this bullish order block. Let's see what kind of reaction we get here. I'll draw that out. I use the trend line. See what we do here on this. This order block. So we just hit the really sensitive portion of that order block there, which is the opening price on that candle. And that opening price is 1.32800. And we can see where price started to get a little more animated once it tapped that level. And so we'll see if price wants to go ahead and spool higher here now. If it disrespects the order block, then I'll go ahead and partial out my position. Like, I don't want to sit in during lunch hour with this much on. And digging a little deeper into it. See what we get. Yeah, price action is getting very, very, very slow right here. I mean, but this is typical of the lunch hour from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. It's like watching paint dry. And I really want to see how we run through these relative equal highs here, this minor buy side liquidity. I mean, it if it's going to run the liquidity above these highs, then it shouldn't have any problem running these highs as well, which is why I may just let the trade run. I mean, I'm right there on my target. It's just dollar is okay. Dollar just made a nice sweeping move here. Let's see if dollar drops. We're inside this inefficiency here that I want to see become inverted. Excuse me, give me just a moment. All right, I'm back. Had to get something to drink. V8. Saw that little animation. The bid and ask price started flickering. Uh, and then it stalled. And now I don't see any reason why price wouldn't just displace above these highs now. And we're coming up on 12:30. I know initially I said I'd get out of here at 12:10, but it's all dependent upon price action and order flow. What I do, I mean, time is the most important element. Um, the 11:50 macro started like around this area, so a short order list of instructions between here and then would be to go ahead and take out those highs, and so that's what I'm waiting to see how that'll happen. Because if it really gets animated above it, then I'll just let it run to my full TP. I mean, it at this point, I'm kind of just like, well, I'd much rather just have that happen anyways. You know, if anything, I may just move my stop right here under the low of this bearish order block, and let it run to my full objective. I did suffer a needless loss today. I got out early, and price has been moving in my direction ever since. If I would have just sat in the trade, I would have been fine. So I'm gonna move this here. Yeah, I'll move that there. On both my accounts. Actually, I don't even want to see price get back below that order block. If I'm be 100% honest with you. And I'll change this one as well. Let's look at the 1 minute. Back to the 3 minute. 1 minute's looking okay. Actually, I do want to pull this up. I could take this off now. All right, so 12:30 now, the middle of lunch hour. I wasn't expecting to be in the trade this long. This actually has been a. I mean, it's been a smooth. I don't really want to say smooth. It's been a slow pull higher. It hasn't had a lot of retracement, and I'm not going to sit through a retracement. It's okay for price to do that and then hit objective, but I just do not want to sit through a retracement. I mean, price has been trending higher all week, and so a retracement could easily just turn into, um, a market structure break. No, but I mean, at the very least, with using inner circle trader concepts, uh, you normally get a retracement back into 25 to 30% of the range, but it could do that on Thursday. So, and today is Thursday. Normally I like to look for that on Friday for the TGIF setup. Yeah, it really wouldn't make sense to leave these highs in check or leave them in place. I want to see that get swept. If it doesn't get swept, then I'll get stopped out in profit. And I believe I have this level drawn out incorrectly on this chart. That monthly order block. It's not relevant right now, but I believe it's incorrect. On my trading view chart, I have a different number. It's like way up here. It's further. It's up higher than what I have it as. The order block is actually above this high right here. It's my take profit, my full TP. To the 5 minute. And again, I'd really like to see it run these highs before it starts to retrace lower. If it does it sooner than that, I mean, that can happen. It'll just be engineering more buy side liquidity to take out later on in the day or later on some other session. But I don't really want to see it do that. It can do it, but not what I want to see happen. Okay, so let's see if I can find a level that I want to see it respect. 2 minute. It looks like it may just start to break down here. I may go ahead and pull 80% and then just um, move my stop here. We do have some small, very small imbalance in here on the 2 minute. And I believe there's one on the 3 minute as well. Yeah, very small imbalance right here. So I like to see price respect that. If it runs through it, then I'll draw it out here. Right there. That's a 3 minute fair value gap. I guess we'll zoom into that. It's the piece of price action that really matters right now. Everything else has been outlined. Zoom into what really is pertinent. And then even this here, I mean, that these relative equal highs, I mean, that's engineering more buy side liquidity, which gives me more reason to think it'll just run right through both of these levels. It's like either it will or it won't. But yeah, this is like one of my last line of defense. And this order block is not precise. It should be here. So I have a lot of discretionary things going on right now in my head, which like anytime you're discretionary, it's like it's this mental equity or emotional equity that you kind of have to wrestle with. And it doesn't help that I took a loss earlier. I don't want to let greed influence my decision here. I mean, either way, I'm comfortable because I know I'm going to end the day in profit. It's just the amount of profit is what's, what I'm looking at because I really want a 1 to 2 risk to reward. I don't want to have to take a partial, but and I don't want to get stopped out in profit. But a win is a win, right? A green day is a green day. So we're coming up on the 12:50 to 1 o'clock macro. 5 minutes until 12:50. We'll see if that macro wants to go ahead and take out these relative equal highs. If not, then it'll just retrace back into discount of this range that is created between the hours of about 10 o'clock to now, and then come back into this sometime later. But it definitely has generated some buy side liquidity up here. Um, you know, if people are looking to sell, you could get in short up here somewhere. People that want to catch the top of a move to sell off, it gave them a little indication to want to do that up here. And then put their stop right above this high here, this high here, and even this high all the way up here, which is why I have that label as buy side liquidity. Like if you've been short, you've been making money short, then a reasonable place to put your stop loss will be up here if you're trying to pick the top of the market. So that because of that, that will be a reasonable place for them to want to take the market and essentially grab that, get that liquidity. But then again, I mean, you got a lot of like these are lower highs. So that's like low resistance liquidity. So that's the reason why I'm so set on just kind of just letting this pan out, letting it hit my TP. Another move I could make is just take 80% off right here at what I have as my TP, and then leave the remaining amount on to this red horizontal line, which is our buy side liquidity. So we got 2 minutes until the 12:50 to 1 o'clock macro and 1:10 macro, that 20-minute window. So I mean, it would make the most sense to me for them to go ahead and take price above these highs and this high right here. Go ahead and get those sellers out of the market that have been holding short. Like if they hadn't gotten out already, I mean, that'd be a good time to do that. If you've been holding short, good luck. So we got about a minute till this candle closes, and then we'll enter into the 12:50 to 1:10 macro. 30 seconds now. And as soon as 12:50 hits, I'd like to see it just go ahead and boom, spool higher and do what the previous macro couldn't do. $12.50 now. Let's see what price does. Let's see if we get an immediate imbalance, rebalance, where price comes down to the high of this candle, and then just boom, shoots up higher. See if we get that IRB. Immediate rebalance. And then boom, take off. See the buyers and sellers in this at this point in time. And I mean, you kind of could wait at 50-50 since we've been so bullish this week. I mean, that's a reason to want to go ahead and retrace a lot lower than it has retraced for this day. But I mean, this liquidity here is just way too easy to just let sit there. But I mean, the longer it lets sit, the more liquidity it'll have there later on. So we didn't get that IRB. It didn't, like, this candle didn't go down to the high of this wick and then accelerate away from it. So because of that, that makes this candle here an order block. The opening of that candle, it makes that an order block because it left an imbalance right here. And so now I want to see that order block get respected, and that be the discount array that pushes price up higher above these relative equal highs. And this generated buy side liquidity. So now we have on the 3 minute time frame, we got one, this imbalance, two, this low, and three. And this is technically an order block. This is a propulsion block, actually. This is a propulsion block, and I mean, even this can be counted as a propulsion block. And a propulsion block is supposed to send price in the opposite direction of the block itself. So this is a bullish propulsion block, which is a bearish candle, so it should send price higher. Same with this here. Same with this one here. I mean, this is an order block, but you get my drift. Let's check out dollar. Is dollar stumbling? Yeah, it's kind of still sitting at this 5 minute propulsion block. Well, no, it's actually an order block because it didn't tap that one. Yeah, it's just been sitting there. In discount of the range that's been created this morning, this bullish range. I'm reading that through my trading view chart. So this is one, two, and I could make this old low 3 if I wanted to, and then put my stop up right below that low. But yeah, so far this macro has been bearish because it closed in that imbalance. We'll see if it. So 1, 2. I mean, you could count mean threshold as well, or consequent encroachment of this wick could also be counted as a discount array. And then you got the bullish order block. So, because I was considering moving my stop below this low. Because it looks like price is just going to start its retracement now. Bearish retracement. I may just go ahead and move this up. Yeah, I'll go ahead and move it. Move it up here. Put me at 81 for today. Well, 81 minus what I lost today, which was about $25 to $30. So, yeah. It's not too. Let's see what we get here. Put it right there. Yep. Yeah, that's 3 PD arrays. Yeah, one, 2, 3, and even I'm allowing for that to act as a bullish order block as well, or well, a propulsion block, I should say. So we'll see. Could sweep these lows. propulsion block, then spool higher. But that's my last line of defense. So I'm talking about this right here. Right there. See what price does right here. Yeah. Doesn't look like it wants to respect that level. If it doesn't respect it, it'll just take me out. Yep. So stopped out in profit. Not too bad. Ended the day in profit. A little less than 0.25% earned on both accounts for today. You can see that my last 7 days have just been abysmal. About 2% loss. So today, yeah, 54.25. And it'll be something if it just wants to go ahead and reprice higher now that it has my stop. Maybe should have placed it below that order block. Let's see what dollar's doing. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it wants to do it now. It's kind of unfortunate, right? It's just that impatience. And let's see. Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like it wants to go ahead and spool higher now. Oh, man. Instead of making 120, I made 50 something dollars for today. Look at that. I respected that imbalance. But it still has this Sibby here. But I'm done. Done for today. Um Nice little read. I mean, I'm expecting for price to eventually take out this high, or at least take out these highs here. Bare minimum. I just didn't sit and wait it out. Like I would hate to see price. Well, hate to have seen price just come all the way back down here, which is why I went ahead and took out my position or moved my stop so that I could be stopped out in profit. So if we go to the 15-minute time frame though, let's go to. I'm still analyzing this thing, even though it's over. That's how you know I like to read price action. So we have this breaker right here. I have my eye on right there. That breaker is right there at 50% alongside this 15-minute buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency. So that's a reasonable place that we could see price go into. And if I wanted to re-enter, I could re-enter right there at that level, put my stop right there at that low, and then aim for this high. I could partial out above these relative equal highs or this minor buy side liquidity that's been generated. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm looking at for the afternoon. I'll make this blue. And that's a 15-minute. That'd be a 15-minute unicorn setup. So 15-minute breaker block. How does that look? Off center. Might be an illusion. Okay, so that. All right. So yeah, that'd be a nice place to enter. And we also have this 15-minute buy side and balance sell side efficiency. There's also an inversion gap right here. But it looks like price may want to just take out these highs. Like it's starting to move again to the upside, and dollar is just holding. So I don't know what dollar's going to do. But yeah, I guess just to kind of run through things again, the entire trade. So we're working off of a weekly key level. We have this weekly buy side of balance, sell side efficiency. From that level, we created several 4-hour displacements, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, several of them. Like there, that was an entry long. Here, that was an entry long. Here, SMT, that was another entry long. Here, and this is the one I'm keying off of now. This 4-hour buy side and balance, sell side efficiency. Um, and from that, we wait for a 15-minute, which I didn't wait on that. I actually entered on a 3-minute displacement or market structure shift, and then re-entry into a 3-minute fair value gap. I went long, um, targeting this short-term high right here for partial, and then I had my full TP up in this area somewhere, and it's within this range. So yeah, that's it. I mean, we'll give it another go. Maybe come lunch, I'll probably risk like 30%. I mean, not 30%, but risk half of a quarter of a percent. So that's like 12 and a half point 12.5%. Yeah, very small risk, but it could just go ahead and shoot up there now. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to turn this one off. If you guys tuned in, thank you for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys maybe later this afternoon if a setup pans out like the one I was just outlining. So if we get inside this 15-minute breaker, that'd be another entry or another opportunity to go long and then target these relative equal highs, which is I have delineated as a potential 80% partial. And then our full objective or our external range liquidity target is our intraday high. Okay, so, and that's buy side liquidity. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day.